Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel on this gorgeous, beautiful, sunshiny day here in Southeast Michigan. Today's quick tip is a brief reminder to you, and if you're not aware of this, it's to draw your attention to the idea that high notes are not located on the ceiling or in the sky, and low notes are not located beneath you on the ground or on the floor. So what do I mean by that? I'll tell you. Oftentimes, vocalists and even speakers get into this bad habit of tensing parts of their face and throat in order to execute certain parts of their vocal range. For example, if you are singing a scale, the higher you go on that scale, the more likely it might be, if you're not paying attention or if you're not careful, the more likely it is that you're going to begin to tense your forehead, bring your eyebrows up, and when you tense all of that, guess what's happening that you may not be aware of? You're also rising the soft palate in the back of your throat and tensing the back of your throat as well. All things which can get in the way of having the best possible vocal production that you could possibly have. So, an example of that would be, let's say you're doing a scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now you see what happened up here? Pay attention to my forehead and my eyebrows. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. See that? Now, fa and sol are higher on the scale than do and re, right? Do, re, mi. You're going higher and higher. However, just because they're higher in your voice and just because they're higher on the musical scale doesn't mean they're located up there somewhere so that you have to physically reach to get them. It's a bad habit that oftentimes my voice students are not aware of. They're not even aware that they're doing it until I point it out to them. So what I recommend to you is to get into that mirror. It's one of our best tools. I have a whole video talking about ways of using mirrors, different size mirrors for different kinds of practice. And that is for you speakers as well as you singers. But get into the mirror, watch yourself as you sing certain passages or speak certain passages, and be very conscious to make sure that you are not, really tensing just because you're going la 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 la, just because you're going higher. Ooh, ooh. What's this? What's this got to do with going higher? Now, do I mean that you have to have a frozen, stiff face? Of course not. You can have a flexible facade, definitely. But still, even in maintaining flexibility, you want to be careful that you don't develop bad habits of, like I said, becoming tense and holding on to that tension just because you are singing or speaking in a higher part of your voice. Same thing when you're going lower. If I go down a scale instead of going up, la 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 la. Now, did you see what I just did? I tilted my head downward and my chin went downward just because I went down in terms of the notes I'm singing. La 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 la. Going down here is not necessary in order to sing lower notes, because those lower notes are not on the floor or on the ground beneath you. We have to go down to get them. Again, so many of these are unconscious habits, but I want to bring them to your conscious mind in this vocal quick tip. And again, remind you and encourage you to get into that mirror, watch your movements, and be aware of what you're doing with your body and whether or not you are tensing in order to execute certain passages, singing or speaking. Last thing I will say about that is, again, you can be flexible. I'm going to use a spoken word what's a good spoken word example I could use? this is going to be a very bad rendition of a passage from Shakespeare. The famous passage that goes, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo, right? From Shakespeare. Now, that's a spoken word. The voice does escalate because you don't say Romeo, in one plain scale, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Because it sounds like you're not really interested in wherefore art thou Romeo, right? So in order to make it sound as though you're really engaged, yes, you do want your voice to go up and down. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? You can say it like that. That wasn't too bad a rendition, but anyway. So in speaking that little passage, again, your voice goes up and down, and your expressions can go up and down. You can raise your eyebrows. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? It's a part of the whole facade of showing that you're really seeking Romeo. So I'm not saying that you cannot move, the forehead and the eyebrows and all of that's part of your expressiveness. What I'm referring to is too much tension, and then also feeling the unconscious need to do it in order to execute those notes and those sounds. Because, as I said in the previous vocal quick tip video, number 28, in which I talked about dynamics and controlling dynamics from inside your body, from the diaphragm and from your throat and all of that. Same idea, same concept. You want to make sure that you are controlling your ability to execute those notes, high and low, from your control of your breath and your voice and your vocal cords and all that internally. The external expressiveness, yes, it's a part of that, but you shouldn't have to do this in order to find the note. Okay, so that's my vocal quick tip for today. And one last thing. I keep saying that. One last thing, and then one more last thing, and then one more last thing. I think I'm turning the camera. Anyway, final thing I promise, and that is, not only do I not want you to feel like that you have to tense in order to locate these notes, from your voice, but the tension can get in the way of your best speaking and your best singing. So I wanted to add that as well. Hope this is helpful to you. Give me a thumbs up. If so, hopefully, give me a thumbs up and like. Feel free to comment below. And again, as I have mentioned in the last couple of videos, or at least the two videos ago in the Vocal Quick Tip series, if you have any comments or questions that you would like for me that you would like me to cover, please feel free to comment and let me know, or send me a private notice, email if you like. Anyway, I also invite you to subscribe, and in the meantime, have a blessed and wonderful rest of today, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.